welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelby and today I'm going to be doing an author spotlight on Ruth Ware. I have 4 books here to talk about. She is publishing a 5th book at the end of summer, early fall, and I've read all of the books she's already published, and I figured I would just talk about them in publication order. That way, if you guys are interested in reading them, you can check them out before her next book comes out. So I will link them all down below, and I'd love to hear what your favorite Ruth Ware book is. The first one I have to talk about is In a Dark, Dark Wood, and I really enjoyed this. This is one of my favorite Ruth Ware books. This is about a woman who gets invited to go to a bachelorette weekend in the woods in a cabin. She's a little surprised to go because she's not close to the bride. You know that something happened when they were younger that tore them apart, so she's pretty shocked to receive an invite to this bachelorette weekend, but she decides to go because another one of her friends is invited, so she goes, and of course they're stuck in this cabin without any kind of cell service, and they're kind of trapped there, and weird things happen, and you're trying to put together this slow burn mystery. And this one I really enjoyed. I like kind of that it was set in a place that you can't escape from, and that is something I've noticed with some of Ruth Ware's books, that it's in a place where you can't really escape, and so you're kind of trying to put the pieces together, and you know that there's only a set number of people in this house at this bachelorette party, and you know the person doing these creepy things is in that house, and you're trying to figure out who's innocent and who's guilty. The next one I have to talk about is The Lying Game, and I actually just finished this one a couple of days ago. And this one is about a group of 4 girls that met in boarding school in high school, and you know that something bad happened and they were forced to leave the boarding school. And well, now it's I think 15 or 17 years later, and one of the girls demands that the rest of them come back to the town that the boarding school is in, where she lives, because something happened. A body was found by the school buried, and they're all kind of pissing themselves scared that it will be linked back to them. So you know they are linked to a dead body, but you're not really sure how, and some weird things start happening when they're staying in their friend's house, and they're all kind of stuck there, and you're wondering, does it have to do with any of the friends? Is it someone else? And it's definitely a very slow burn mystery. This one was one of my least favorites by Ruth Ware. I didn't really like any of the characters, and it was very slow, and the ending was not that satisfying for me. It was a little bit predictable. It was okay, just wasn't my favorite Ruth Ware. Then the next one was the first Ruth Ware I ever read, and this is by far my favorite. I'm not sure if it's because I read it when I was just getting into thrillers or if it really is so good, but this is The Woman in Cabin 10, and this is about a woman who is a journalist, and she gets to go on this cruise ship to write a piece about this new cruise ship. And it's like an elite cruise ship where only a select number of people are on it. And well, the first night she is there, she sees a woman pushed off the deck. But when she goes to tell the people who man the ship that someone was pushed over, they account for everyone there and says that no one is missing. So she starts to believe she's crazy. Everyone thinks she is crazy, but she's certain that she knows she saw someone pushed off of the deck. But why is no one missing? And so she's trying to figure out what happened and if she's sane, and she's convinced though that something bad happened, and definitely something did. And again, this is another one where you're on a ship, so they can't leave, so you know something happened with one of the people on the ship. And this one I loved. I think this is definitely my favorite Ruth Ware. It had the best, I think, suspense in it, and I just loved putting all the pieces together. Last one I have to talk about, I actually don't have a physical copy. I checked it out from the library, and this one is The Death of Mrs. Westaway. This is Ruth Ware's most recent novel that I think came out last year. And this one is about a young woman who is a tarot card reader, and she owes a lot of money to a loan shark that she got a loan from, and they're threatening her life. Well, she just so happens to receive a letter in the mail saying that her grandmother has died and she is going to be heir to a lot of money. She knows it's a mistake because she doesn't have a grandmother that is alive or that she knows of, but she really needs the money, so she decides to impersonate this person and go and collect the money. So she goes to this house where the whole family of the deceased is meeting up, and she's trying to collect the money. And of course, they're all trapped in this house together, and some weird things happen, and she discovers secrets, and she realizes that her mother might be related to these people. And yeah, it's a crazy ride. I enjoyed it, but it is not my favorite Ruth Ware. It was a little disappointing for me because I'd heard so many good things about this book, but it was really slow going. So that is something about Ruth Ware's books, that they are very slow. They're a slow burn mystery, and it's either you love it or you hate it, and sometimes I love it and sometimes I hate it. I did enjoy this book, it just definitely was not my favorite Ruth Ware. Those are all of the books that I have to talk about from Ruth Ware. I'd love to hear your favorite, and I will see you guys on my next one. Bye.